And I think what we're starting to see is this shift of looking at infrastructure as just providing one kind of impact on our communities. Typically in the past, that kind of impact had been looking at economic development or providing immediate jobs, and obviously repair and replacement of infrastructure that was already pre-existing. So now we're starting to look, and I think our communities are starting to expect more holistic solutions as it relates to what does that infrastructure look like, but also what does it look like from a resiliency perspective. Also, how does it potentially connect our communities and improve our communities from a social value perspective? We need to be shifting the lens in terms of how we actually evaluate future infrastructure spend to have a much more multifaceted approach to thinking and evaluating what that concept of risk is, as well as also what is that concept of opportunity and benefit to our communities, so that we're having a much wider view of how do we really transform our communities looking at this particular infrastructure spend. So again, the expectations are not only economic development, but it is how does this improve resiliency? How do we respond to issues and concerns of sustainability? How do we respond to questions and concerns related to social equity and social value? So what that means is a much more integrated and holistic systems thinking approach to grappling with these infrastructure challenges. You contrast that with many of our organizations, which tend to be much more siloed in their approach. If we really are going to create transformative outcomes in our communities, we need to start to bridge those divides that currently have and start to bring much more diverse and holistic teams together. I would want to see, kind of asset management sitting at the level of the C-suite, because it is so fundamentally important in terms of, kind of all the other, how interconnected it is across all of these different departments, but ultimately how it can transform our communities and our organizations.